Hey, what is up, guys? And welcome back to another Magic the Gathering online league. We're back with Eldrazi Ramp on the draw for game 1. Initially, I was planning on playing E-Ramp with Ice Still Explorer. I got through 2 games and I was thoroughly unimpressed. Was really cute with whatchamacallit, with Ghost Quarter, of course, but the indiscriminate mill was just really bad when you're looking for castables. Claw? What? Huh. Was not expecting to see that here today. So we have a few options. We can go Talisman or we can go Rumble. Benefit of Rumbles, we can find a land. Yeah, let's go Rumble here. Hopefully they don't have a... whatchamacallit. Ooh, interesting, Lab. We also see a K return for later. Okay, I like this. We'll pass. So this way we can play the Talisman and sweep. Then we can sweep again later. Is Pinnacle a 3/3? Okay. Let's see. So we play the Talisman. We could play Chrysalis. We'll take 3, down to 17. Draw. Lab. Imprint. Cast Talisman. Talisman resolves. Cast Rumble. Looking for another land. There's Eldrazi Temple. Perfect. So now we have the K return. I want them to tap out. And Saga. I guess I could block the Saga and then K return. Or block the Construct, then K return. Yeah, I guess that's probably the right move. Saga. Construct. Do you grab Boots, or do you grab a Shadow Spear? I don't think you can equip the Shadow Spear, so most likely Boots would be my guess. This way you block Construct, cast K return, next turn cast Sire, and then sweep the board of the Constructs. Yes. Boots. Yep, that's fine. Thop, that's fine. And to blocks. Block 1, block 2, K return. And pass. And draw. 2, 4, 7. So let's cast Sire 7 Deaths and sweep. Yes. And yes. Sire ETBs, and then we have double Chrysalis. There are 1 green short of double casting. And both sweeps it up, we'll take the win. So this is Affinity, win for game 1. I feel like they're relatively resistant to Magus. I'm gonna say no. Wastecape Battle Mage is a yes. Dismember is a maybe. K return seems decent, because if we can sweep the tokens, then it makes it harder for them to cast Kappa, of course. Wayscape seems good, though. We want Ghost Quarter. I don't think we want Bog. Like I said, I don't think they play Emery or Tamiyo anymore. The question is what we want to bring in, or what we want to cut. So, like, we could Dismember Pinnacle. Maybe. Writhing Chrysalis does block Thought Monitor rather well. Null Drifter retriggers K-Return. Sire's a decent blocker. Emrakul's Emrakul. So maybe, yeah, we just cut Chrysalis then and run it back like this. Yeah, that seems reasonable. I guess we could cut a Sire or a Emrakul. Yeah, maybe that would have been right. I mean, this is solid. I will keep. I will pass. Draw. Rumble. Imprint Emrakul. Cast Talisman. Pass. And pass. Saga trigger. Weapons what the fuck? Whenever a non-token artifact control enters, create a colorless artifact token named Munitions. It deals 2 damage to any target. Oh. When this leaves the battlefield, it deals 2. Oh, so that's why the clause. I understand now. Bob will target me. Yep. K return. So we could sweep 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they can play the Kappa regardless. I think we'll just hold up the K command. Though maybe there's an argument for casting it now to play around a Metallic Rebuke. In that case... and done. Let's ramp, scry draw. Let's see here. So we have E-Temp, we have Windswept Teeth. We already have a green source. We don't need to necessarily go deeper, though I guess we can't cast Chrysalis right now. So we can go, I don't know, Windswept Teeth. Problem is we're gonna, yeah, I think Windswept Teeth bottom still. Temple top, Mycospawn top, draw, and then pass, and pass. Next turn we can kick the Saga. Cast, draw 2. I guess I could get rid of the bridge and then the Saga, or never mind. Drum, trigger. Yeesh. That is getting a bit scary, admittedly. We do need to keep him off of claws. Because just them being able to fire off munitions is a bit concerning. And draw. E-Temp. I will kick the Mycospawn. And we'll kick the Urza Saga. And I think I'll grab a green source here so we can rumble. Because I have an idea here. I want to get this Emrakul on board. So in that case, I'll grab a forest. there's Wastegate Battle Mage. So we are going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I will grab the Wastegate, I think. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yes, done. Grab the Wastegate. And then pass. And pass. Saga trigger. White boots. That's fine. I guess you could make another Saga token, equip boots. Yep. That is all fine. White boots. So confirming 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So I'm thinking we block and we block. That makes sense to me. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I'd need 16 if I wanted to Wastegate and... I think we'll just do this. Springleaf Drum is fine. And draw. Alright, gonna return this to hand. Oh, I'm actually one. Oh. Hammer cool, always yield. Alright, now we get to have some fun. Steam Vents. Draw. Spirebluff Canal. Main. Trigger, float. Trigger on the stack. Float. And there's Closet Gix. We're going to say yield unto end of turn. So, from here, we're going to want to sacrifice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we can go 6 deep. Steam Vent Shock. Yes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, I can't kill you yet, but we're pretty close. So sacrifice a permanent. Trigger. I will target Thop. Until end of turn. I guess I maybe should have equipped that first. So let's see here. Tap. Sacrifice a permanent. And sacrifice the bridge. Let's see here. Pay 1. Deal damage to you. let's see. Sacrifice a permanent. Munitions, target self. Until the turn. Sacrifice a permanent. Sacrifice a construct. Actually, not yet. Sacrifice munitions. Sacrifice a land, I suppose. 1, 2, 3 left over after. Huh. Yes. Springleaf Drum, tap, construct, sacrifice a permanent, sacrifice the construct. And then we don't need to tap you. I guess we can. But we don't need to. I can just opal. Let's see. Opal for white. Gix. Sacrifice opal, or I can sacrifice the Gix, I suppose. Could sacrifice Gix. That is a consideration. Springleaf Drum, don't need to tap. We can just slam Emrakul into... I guess maybe I should have tapped the Ornithopter first, so yeah, I didn't play that as efficiently as I should have. I should have used the Springleaf Drums first, basically. So sacrifice the Claws. Yes. And then go to combat. Attack with Construct. Block of Emrakul. And then pass. And pass. Yeah, so I could have done that a little bit more efficiently, sacrificing the opal, sacrificing their lands, etc. So, not the end of the world. And draw. Utopia Sprawl. For red. Writhing Chrysalis. Always yield. Go to combat. Swing at you for 13. And hold K command. X equals what, 4? And opponent scoops it up. We'll take the win. The missions, the weapons manufacturing is interesting. Did not expect to see that, but I'm curious about it. Alright, well, that's it. We'll be back for match 2. Alright, we're back for match 2. On the play for game 1. I will keep. We'll go E-Temp off start. Forest into Impulse. Otherwise, you might K command X1. Allows me to Chrysalis on 2, or rather on 3. Of course, we draw another E-Temp or Devour. Okay. That does make it more interesting. We'll pass. Question of the day, what flavor of Eldrazi were you playing against? Is it E-Ramp? Is it Brood Scale? Looks like it is Tron. Okay. Power Plant and passing. In that case, draw. E-Temp. Go E-Temp and pass, hold K command. Would love to see a Myco spawn off top. Chromatic Star. Ooh, okay, Chromatics. Actually going to be running a similar build to this probably tomorrow. But pause on end step. Yeah, I've been doing some crunching on the numbers, and traditional G-Tron might be better than Eldrazi Tron, which is interesting. So, will be an interesting league tomorrow. I'm gonna say bottom. Yeah. Bottom draw. K return's not doing much. Would have loved to have seen a Myco. There is some consideration to playing Null Drifter here, just because it would allow for... Oh, never mind. Never mind. Forest. Cast Talisman of Impulse. Yes. Kick Sowing Myco Spawn. And which Tron land did you have in there? Power Plant? You go after Power Plant. And we grab the Ghost Quarter? I think so. Grab Ghost Quarter. And hold. Alright, opponent, what say you? I feel like this is probably one of the harder matchups, especially if Eram plays Ghost Quarter. Green, draw a card. Okay. Saga trigger. Alright. And opponent skips it. Alright, I'll take the win against... I'm not sure if I should classify this as Eldrazi Tron or just Tron. I imagine this is just Tron based on the chromatics. I'm just going to say Tron. I think the differentiating factor between E-Tron and Tron is whether or not you use Temple. I think Temple is like, if you're using E-Temp, it's Eldrazi Tron, right? So I'll bring in Magus. Wayscape's also decent. So is Disruptor Flute, though. And Thief. There's a lot of good options here. We keep the Ghost Quarter, cut the Bog. We could arguably cut the Cavern of Souls, yeah. Down to 21. We want World Breaker. Null Drifter is decent. Sire's hard for them to deal with, but so is Emrakul. Maybe cut Null Drift. We cut the K return. Do we want to cut Null Drifter? See, Chrysalis does ramp us into Myco Spawn, why I'm hesitant of cutting that. Flute can name Map, which is cute at times, but they also have Saga, so Wayscape is a consideration. So maybe we do cut a Null Drifter, and maybe the Thief. Keep the Wayscape. See, Wayscape only really deals well with... So I wonder if we go Flute. I wonder, like, Flute and Thief. Because Thief can eat Bridge, Thief can eat Karn. Obviously, Flute can stop Karn. Yeah, maybe run it like this, then. Alright, let's run it back. I'll also consider cutting a Rumble, I suppose. I like this hand. I will keep. I will pass. Reveals Devourer. So I'll go Wooded Foothills, Utopia Sprawl. Oh, thought I passed. Don't think it matters what I grab as far as card sources are concerned. There's mine. There's Map. Or not. Passing. Okay. In that case, Forest, Sprawl, for red, and pass, and pass. Power Plant. In that case, did you exile any? You did not. Abstergo. Return up the one target historic card, then exile all yards. Interesting. Draw. their E-Temp. Ghost Quarter, and we'll go to their draw step. Draw, Ghost Quarter, target mine. Pass. There's the forest, there's the tower, and passing, or not. Haywire Might eats the Utopia Scroll. Annoying, but fine. And draw. Sire 7 Deaths will play E-Temp and pass. And pass. Ancient Stirrings finds what? There's a power plant. Play the power plant. Play a saga. Okay, so they're looking for map then. Draw. I will play E-Temp and pass. Fortunately, Thief does not hit Saga. And that's one reason why, like, maybe Wayscape is good, just because Saga, yeah, it's hard to say, because it is kind of narrow. But anytime you see Saga, Wayscape's probably a good option. So maybe bring in Wayscape. Bit of an awkward matchup. Or, not awkward matchup, but the Saga lines up a bit awkwardly. Because we want Flute, we want Magus. I guess Magus kind of lines up awkwardly with Saga too, admittedly. Draw. Rumble. Rumble's interesting. In that case, I am thinking of tucking the Sire. Oh, actually, in retrospect, I shouldn't have done that. I should have tucked Emrakul. Maybe not. We'll see. There's Flute. There's Lab. I'm going to grab Flute. Five types in Yard. So they're going to grab Map. So in that case, I'm going to hold. Make a Construct. It's a 1/1. Yep. And hold. Trigger. Float. Cast Flute. Flute name Expedition Map. No map for you. And pass in full. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Tormod's Crypt, so they empty my yard. Annoying. And there's Karn. Yep. I could grab Liquid Metal. That is okay. And there's Liquid Metal. Construct attacks. Or not. Leaves it back as a blocker. Alright. Liquid Metal targets. That is fine. Draw. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So in that case, play a forest. I will kick first. Mycospawn, and what do we want to kick is the question. I guess we could kick their forest. That way they have fewer ways to try and find the mine. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll grab E-Temp. existence. Target Karn. And pass. 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And we'll hold. Gemstone Caverns. Tezzeret. -4 map. Oh. I guess, no, map doesn't do anything here, so never mind. -4 chromatic. Pithy Needle. Tezzeret is interesting. I'm not sure if I'll run it in my traditional list, but it is interesting to me. It does kind of feel like a bit of a win more at times. Triggers Tezzeret. No attacks. Are you forgetting that you have the Tormod script or what? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Play Wooded Foothills. And cast Emrakul. It is an Emrakul. I mean, you've had this Tormod script on the board for so long, I don't know why you haven't used it. But we'll take the win. Alright, we'll be back for match 3. Alright, we're back for match 3. On the draw for game 1, I will pass. You don't draw into a land, we'll Bojuka Bog on 1. Emrakul, Bojuka Bog on 1, target you, and pass. We'll Rumble unless we draw into a land, in which case then we'll Talisman. Shadowy Backstreet Surveil, could be Blink. Pass and full. Marsh Flats. Thinking Felia. Malevolent Rumble. One problem with Rumble is that the spawn will likely get flickered. I'll grab the Sanctum so we have another land. And I'll pass. 2 types in yard. They'll fetch, cast Felia. Yep. And pass in full. I mean, if it doesn't get flickered, then... Okay. Then Felia, Flicker Wisp. Yep. That way they can flicker a land. Probably my forest. I'd imagine. Yep. Draw. E-Temp. In that case, there's no reason to play the E-Temp right now, I don't think. I guess we draw into another one. Talisman and pass. And pass. Next turn we can kick the Myco spawn. Well, 6, 8. We'll be 5 short of Emrakul. Is kicking the Myco spawn... I mean, what else would we do? Rumble? Yeah, I suppose. Attack. Flicker. Flicker Wisp. So only take 3 down to 15. Flicker Wisp, the E-Temp. And Witch Enchanter on top of Witch? Jesus. Okay. Flicker E-Temp or Forest E-Temp? Okay. Draw. Breeding Pool. I will cast Rumble. We already have an artifact in yard. We don't have a land. So I'm thinking I'm gonna grab the talisman. Play the sanctum. Play the talisman. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And pass. Because I'm imagining still Felia, Flicker the Flicker Wisp. They could always Felia, Flicker, Witch Enchanter to blow up a talisman. I guess they also could Felia, Flicker, Flicker Wisp for Flicker the Witch Enchanter. Oh, this is Ketra Blink. Interesting. I have not played against Ketra in a hot minute. Felia, Flicker, Flicker Wisp. Yep. Ketra, trigger. Draws a card. Takes 6 down to 9. Oh, she has Ephem. Blows up the talisman. Maybe keeping the spawn was a better idea. Felia, Flicker Wisp flickers the E-Temp. And draw. I think I need a K command here. Because if I play the Sowing Mega Spawn, it's just going to get flickered by Felia. Yeah, the Felia Flicker Wisp kind of put a damper on things. Alright, so it's loss for game 1 against Blink. Unfortunate is what that is. So Dismember, Wayscape, cut Bog. I don't think we saw blue, so maybe cut the gems or Cavern of Souls. Cut gemstones since we're on the draw, on the play rather. They're gonna probably have Emperor Bones, so I wonder if we cut Emrakul here and then a Chrysalis. Yeah, that seems right. Let's run it back. See what happens with this. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's any other changes I'd make. Like, we want Dismember for Ketra. We don't want Bog because of Ketra. We didn't see blue, so we cut the Cavern. And then we cut Gemstone Caverns. Yeah, this seems correct. And then when we bring in Gemstone Caverns to go to game 3, we cut a Chrysalis. Yeah, okay. Let's run it back. You can keep this. It's a bit slow, admittedly. Sanctum of Ugin, pass. And pass. Marsh Flats, pass. Draw. Cast Talisman. And then we hold. Flats, fetch, surveil. Bitch is a land to yard. Okay. Imagine they just play a land pass, hold up Felia. Yes, that does look to be the case. Draw. Myco Spawn. In that case, Rumble. There is a forest. Play the forest. And hold up Dismember. Felia ETB, Dismember Felia. Pass. And then hold. Thoughtseize. Thoughtseize, does it take the K command or the Myco spawn? We can kick Myco spawn no matter what. But K command is a very dangerous card. Especially with the amount of mana I have. I feel like you have to take the K command even if Myco spawn's gonna kick. Takes Myco. Okay. Which blessed. And pass. Draw. Another K command. Mugen's Lab, no imprint. Done. Pass. Let's see another Felia. End step. Felia, ATB, K command, ramp, and exile. And done. And hold. So we have another K command in case it becomes relevant. Wayscape Battle Mage is also relevant. Tapped and casting for Clarion Conqueror. Okay. Less than ideal, admittedly. Sprawl. So I'm thinking Sprawl for blue. And pass. And hold on the off chance that's relevant. Go down to 12 at the very least. Yep, down to 12. Flicker Wisp. Flickers what? The forest, I imagine? Witch Blast. That's annoying. He could have Ghost Quartered it, admittedly. Probably should have, in retrospect. Alright, and pass. Draw. E-temp, perfect. Alrighty. So... Don't want to get hit by an E-fem here, so I'm going to pass. Yeah, if I had Ghost Quartered it, then I would have at least been able to bounce the Clarion Conqueror. Yeah. K command. Scry draw exile. And done. You have the E-fem. You do not. So, let's see here. We have Rumble, Null Drifter, Chrysalis. We'll have access to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Chrysalis bottom. Rumble, Null Drifter, E-temp. Draw to blocks. Block. And draw. Eldrazi temp. Actually, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Evoke Null Drifter. Float. Draw 2. Trigger. Yes. Emrakul the Promised End. Evoke trigger. Always yield. One, two. Always yield. And hold. You have a Solitude. Fetch Marsh Flats or fetch Marsh Flats to hardcast Solitude. You do. There's Solitude. And we're cooled down. We take control of the turn. Ketra. Thoughtseize targets self. So Thoughtseize targets self. Ketra. And then Ghost Quarter target Godless Shrine. Yes, just so I can take a peek. Let's see. Conqueror, Trawler, Elish Norn, interesting. Inquisition, Overlord, Vindicate. There's nothing too surprising outside that. Elish Norn. Fail to find, pass. And pass. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. I will block Solitude and sack and pass. I'd like a red source. Thoughtseize probably takes the Rumble. Thing is, if I draw into a red source, then Crystal's gonna be an absolute house here. Draw. E-temp. No dice, unfortunately. I suppose I could just Wasescape. Oh. Cast Wasescape or we hold. We're not really hurting too much, but maybe we do cast the Wasescape here. Pass. Unfortunately, no kicks. We'll pass. Of course, they're going to draw into an Overlord now. We can cast anything in our deck short of this Writhing Chrysalis. Yeah, I guess that and K return. Yeah, we find a Talisman, Utopia Sprawl, Fetch, Vindicate. Okay. They're just trying to race to the bottom now. Down to 8. So lethal's on board. Draw. Concede. That's brutal. Alright. Yeah, the Crystal's not being castable is kind of rough, not gonna lie. Huh. Wonder if you could play that a little bit differently. Maybe. Well, regardless, We'll be back for match number 4. Alright, we're back for match 4 on the draw for game 1. I'll keep and pass. Love to see a 7-minute value spell off the top. You have 10 hits. Otherwise, we'll likely go E-Temp. Opponent did mulligan down to 6. And it stands kind of looking like this, most likely. I guess it depends on whether or not they play a 1-mana value spell for K command. Yeah. It does depend. Undercity Sewers. It's likely Murktide. Breeding Pool. E-Temp pass. And pass. Swamp. Frog. I'd love to see a 7-minute value spell. I will 1000% force check. No dice, unfortunately. In that case, Cavernous Souls, name Eldrazi. Talisman, and pass. And pass. Still would like a 7-minute value spell or another E-Temp so we can play the Chrysalis and attempt to exile Frog. Thoughtseize. K command or Chrysalis? That's the question. If you take the Chrysalis, I assume you have force for the K command. Okay. So, looks like they don't. That's good to know. Four in hand. I'll bump up to 5. What's opponent thinking here? And I doubt they have double Thoughtseize. Otherwise they may have played the swamp turn 1. Another Thoughtseize? Troll. Ooh, could be Reanimator. Yeah, looking like it is Reanimator then. Imagine they play the Blood Crypt. Do you shock it? You do. Down to 16. Looting. I mean, I'm 1000% going to hit them with a Bog then. Next turn. Especially if they pitch Archon. But they know about the Bog, so why would they? Maybe that's what was giving them hesitation on pitching the Troll? Maybe. Attack with Frog. Because the Frog can easily pitch cards for the Persist. Draw. I will cast Chrysalis. I just wish I'd be drawing into things that aren't absolute bricks. They have 3 cards in hand. They'll have 4, so they can make it a 4/5. Yeah, I will Bajuka Bog just so that way they don't have access to Faithless Looting as well. Probably correct. And pass in full. And then hold. Thought Scour, target self. Frog. Do you have a pitchable to frog and persist is the question. I wonder why Reanimators become so popular. 4 in hand. So you can make it a 5. Go to blocks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Go to blocks, block with a spawn. Before damage. Sack the spawn. Trigger. Always yield. And hold. Thoughtseize whiff. Down to 14. Polluted Delta. 2 in hand. Draw. World Breaker. In that case, I'll play Sanctum of Ugin. Actually, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Trigger. I only have one red source right now, so going after the Blood Crypt seems correct. Go after Blood Crypt. I'm thinking we say yes here and go for Null Drifter just to dig. Because right now I've access 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna say Null Drifter. I guess we could have gone Mycospawn as well, admittedly. I'm not gonna... I guess we could attack with Writhing Chris. Yeah, there's no reason not to. If they have Fatal Push, they have Fatal Push. They do not. Down to 10. Which means Lethal is on board, because we will evoke Null Drifter. Keeps it on top. And pass. Thought Scour. Okay, well they're Oculus now. Interesting. So if you have Persist, you could persist the Oculus. Fetch down to 8. Black. Unearth. That will do it. A second Unearth? Or Persist? Persist. Yeah, that's kind of ugly. Not gonna lie. Triggers. Honestly, I should probably just do Always Yield. Not like I can do anything about them. Always Yield. Arcana Yard. And draw. K-Return. That is interesting. Unfortunately, I don't have a red source, do I? Of course I don't. Of course I don't. So in that case, I will evoke. I guess I wonder. Might be better for me to do this, like this. Trigger, draw 2. Yeesh. Always yield. Trigger. Ugin's Lab. Imprint, World Breaker. And pass. No attacks. Okay, next turn we get to cast the Sire's 7 Deaths, which is unblockable. Emperor Bones for an Archon. Shit. Really wish we could have played this K return. So now they grab Archon. Archon has haste. It'll ETB. Am I just dead? Adapt. Well, shoot. Sacrifice. Pitch. Trigger. If I'm not dead, then I might be able to live. And, I mean, we pass in full at this point. Trigger. Pitch. 11. Rooftop. Loss for game 1. I mean, that was the best thing they could have drawn by and large. And the fact that we saw no red sources is rough. Alright. So we want Dismember. Keep the K return. Pitch the Ghost Quarter. Pitch the Gemstone. Wastecape Battlemage does have some utility here, but not enough to warrant bringing it in, I don't think, so I'm going to run it back as is. Alright. Reanimator. Yeah, I mean, it's just really unlucky that we saw Emperor Bones off the top, because without that, we would have been able to play the Sire and stabilize from there. Yeah. Or if we had a red source, then we would have been able to K return, so I think it came down to variance more than anything. Annoying, but it is what it is. That is how the game works sometimes. On the play for game 2. That's a mulligan. Seriously. They keep their opening 7 as well. That's brutal. Mulligan. Keep. So we want Forest Sprawl. I think we have to do it like this. Red. And pass. And pass. Bloodstainmire. Fetch, so Thoughtseize on 1. I imagine it takes the Rumble or the Myco spawn. Yeah, I would have liked the Rumble. I was hoping to be able to try and turn 3 kick Myco. Takes the Myco, draw Chrysalis. Cast Rumble or cast Stirrings? We'll cast Rumble here. There's Myco. I think we have to grab the E-Temp though, as annoying as that is. Temp. And pass. And hold. Next turn we can Chrysalis. Blue, Thought Scour, target self. Archon and Yard. Well, now I wish I had that Myco. And pass. And draw. I'm gonna start with Ancient Stirrings. Brutal. In that case, we grab another Writhing Chrysalis. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I guess we do grab another Writhing Chrysalis. Running Catacombs, fetch for green. I guess maybe go Breeding Pool. Could go Breeding Pool. That way we can also evoke a Null Drifter in a pinch. And probably correct to do so. Chrysalis. Always yield. Do you have Consign? Looks like you might. Watery Grave Shock, Consign the body. We'll pass in full at this point. Not much we can do. Consign the trigger. Interesting. Alright, worst case scenario here is a persist on the Archon. Blue. Blue. Oh, it's a Oculus. They don't know about a second Chrysalis. That's good. Archon trigger. I guess their thought was to keep the Chrysalis small. Yeah. That's a Harbinger yard. Yikes. There's Dismember. Interesting. There's a Chrysalis. I'm going to Dismember the Auk. Go to combat. Swing for 2. And pass. We do have lethal on board. We have a K return. Thought Scour target self. Did you find your persist? Theater. Okay. Down to 8. So we have lethal on board. Thought sees to yard. Unearth. Unearth the Auk. Okay. Annoying, admittedly. So what I would love to see here is a 7-minute value spell off the top. Always yield, because it's not like I'm going to be able to interact with it at that point. Draw. Persist to yard. Talisman. Play the Talisman, the reason not to. So my thought process here is we can attack with both, and they are forced to block both. Yeah, let's go for it. The blocks, block, and block. All right. And hold. So you still need 2 blockers. There's a Frog, a Harbinger, or another Oculus. Ugh, another Oculus. So I need a 7-minute value spell here so I can K return. That would be nice. Another Auk. They could have a Consign though, that's a problem. Yep, I'll take the 5 down to 8. Triggers. And draw. Seriously? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We'll play the lab. We can't attack. We have to pass. And we hold. Yeah, we're just drawing bricks now. That's the one thing with this deck. I think pretty much with a lot of the decks that I play, that at certain points it just becomes like a 50-50. That's interesting. Go to blocks. Block, 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 block. Before damage. Sack 1. Always yield. Sack 2. And sack 3. Pass in full. Not much to be done now. Paying cost for what? Consign? Brutal. Yeah, I'll do it. So, I mean, they have the consign, but if I draw into a 7-mana value spell, we can K-return and sweep. Yeah, that would be ideal. Alright. Well, not much to be done about that now, is there? Triggers. And show me a 7-mana value Eldrazi. Asking you shall receive. Do you have consigned to memory? That is the question. K-return, world break, and go after the Raucous Theater. Do you have the consign is the question. Yes, and clear. Pass in full. Alright, we're back in business. 8 all. Blue, black, frog? Persist, son of a... So, now what? Draw. K command. So, I need a Chrysalis question mark? Because we can't exile Cruelty. What else can we try and go for? I don't think there's much, unfortunately. I guess Dismember and put us the 1. Jesus. Anything else? No, I don't think so. So, we'll dig 3 deep. There's the Chrysalis. So, in that case, I will bottom, top, and top. Exactly what I needed to survive. Trigger. Pass in full. And we hold. Let's see, Meyer Fetch. Do you have a Fatal Push? Surveil. Looting to yard. Push and concede. Yeah, you gotta. I mean, we found exactly what we needed to try and stabilize, and we just couldn't keep it. Alright, well, sometimes win some, sometimes lose some. We'll be back for match 5. Alright, we're back for match 5 on the play for game 1. I will keep. Draw, Stomping Ground, Shock, Utopia Sprawl for green. And pass. And pass. Let's try and fetch. Sacred Foundry, Shock, is it energy? Static Prism, looking like it. Okay. 7-mana value spell. Good. No. I'm thinking we just rumble here. Rumble, dig deep. There's Null Drifter, there's Myco Spawn, there's E-Temp. All are tempting. The benefit of Null Drifter, of course, is that we can tug underneath Lab, but we don't need to do so. Yeah, I guess we do that, actually. Because we can always play it later. We'll pass. And hold on the off chance that I want to Galvanic Discharge. Guide of Souls. Ocelot Pride. I don't like it. And Pride. Yep, trigger. Now the question is, do we deal with the Pride first or deal with this Guide of Souls first? Probably the Guide of Souls, honestly. Draw. There's the E. There's an E-Temp on top of which. Interesting. In that case, I'm thinking we E-Temp pass. Yeah, we'll go E-Temp and pass. Hold up the K command, X equals 3. Static Prison. Arena of Glory. Exalt. Or exert, rather. For what? Aren't you annoying? K command. X equals 2. And done. Guide of Souls down. And I guess we'll hold, because we want to block and sack. Mobilize. Yep. And block. And before damage. Sack. Pass. Down to 14. Triggers. And draw. Cyrus 7 deaths. Well, don't mind if I do. Hoogan's Lab. Imprint Null Drifter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Cast Cyrus 7 deaths. And always yield. And yes. So, how many types do I have in yard? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We are a little bit short for Emrakul, unfortunately, so I wonder if we just go for another Sire. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, let's do that. And pass. And hold. And hold. Static Prison. Down to 1. Guide of Souls. Okay. Parlor, Surveil, Mountain, and Imagine no attacks. What? But why? Okay. Triggers. I don't think they realize that Sire has reach. Okay. Go to blocks. Block. Alright. Draw. Null Drift. Play the Ghost Quarter. Yeah, a bit confused by that play. I'll be real. Go to combat. 7. And we have lethal on board next turn. Static Prison. Giving back my Utopia Sprawl. I'll say for green. And attach. Pyro. Discard a land, draw 2. Like, what are you gonna do about double Sire? You'll have to block with your entire board. Go to combat. And let's continue. Alright, that's energy. Win for game 1. Let's go to sideboard. We want K return. We're going to want Thief and Dismember. Cut Ghost Quarter. Cut. See, I'm tempted to cut the Cavern of Souls, but the fact of the matter is it can generate red for Chrysalis, so I'm going to say no. Null Drifter's good. Sire's good. World Breaker's okay. I'm thinking cutting an Emrakul because they might bring in... Well, no, it seemed like it was just... I guess Thraben Charm. Not sure if they still play Thraben Charm, actually. Cut a Rumble. Cut a 7-mana value spell. Maybe cut the Breaker, then. Yeah, let's do that. Maybe we should just cut a Cavern of Souls. Maybe. I will keep. I will pass. Marsh Flats fetch 4. Sacred Foundry shock 4. It's Ragavan, we dismember. It's Ragavan, we dismember. Draw. Talisman. Forest. Pass. Dismember. We won't belabor the point. Goodbye, Ragavan. Souls and pass. So they missed their land drop. That's huge. Draw. K command. So we can Wooded Foothills fetch for a forest. Utopia Sprawl for red. Talisman, and pass. Next we can play the Writhing Chrysalis. Hit their land drop that turn. Mesa fetch. Would love to see a colorless source off the top for the K command though. And draw. Stirrings. Let's see if we find it. So go Stirrings. Well, that is a color source, but even better yet, there's a K return. So grab K return. Verdant Catacombs. K return. Pass. Put a pause on end step. Pedestals. And fetch Verdant Cat. Or Commercial District. Trigger. Mega Spawn on top. And draw. I will cast Chrysalis. Trigger. And Bajugabog target you. And hold the K return, or not K return, K command. And opponent skips it up. Alright, solid win. Alright, well, that's a 3-2 record at the end of 5, so not bad. I mean, that's a good example of where, like, Ancient Stirrings is better than Rumble because we're able to dig and hit the K return, which is relevant. So, I mean, I don't mind. I think right now, my biggest thing is looking at the numbers. I think 10 is a good number for 7-minute value spells. I just always hate that, for the most part, K return or Ancient Stirrings is normally brought in by cutting a 7-minute value spell or cutting a threat, but the utility of being able to grab a K return is pretty nice, admittedly. So, give and take, I suppose. Regardless, though, the deck feels good. Like I said, I ran 2 games of Ice Till. I do not like it at all. I would love to see people's arguments of why it is better than Chrysalis by comparison to the current meta, and other than like, well, you can Ghost Quarter 3 times in a turn, your opponent's just going to lose. Like, yeah, but also, like, if you get it off early, then great, but it requires you to have an Ice Till and a Ghost Quarter. That's a lot to ask for, in my opinion. Obviously, it can sometimes be really good with Mycospawn the same way that Chrysalis can, but it's not always consistent because you need another land or need a land in yard, etc. So I don't know. I have my thoughts. I think also the fact that the indiscriminate milling is just bad. Like, yeah, sometimes it gets you to an Emrakul, but other times it mills a threat that you were looking for, and now it's in your yard, and you go, cool, now I have less of those. What do, right? So there's some give and take. I think it plays in a very similar way as Karn, where like when it has utility, fantastic, but when it doesn't, really bad. So I don't know. I don't know about Ice Still. I'm very skeptical of it being used long term in E ramp, but I'm curious to see what people do with it. But I do not think that I'll be playing with it at the very least. But that being said, though, that there will be the end of today's video. As always, if you did enjoy it, please do consider hitting the like button. Comment down below if you did see any lines that I missed, any mistakes that I made, or any general feedback. It'd be much appreciated. For as much that I hope that you all learn from me, and with my success and failures, I hope I can learn from you all as well. Last but not least, if you have reached the point in the video and haven't already, please do consider hitting the subscribe button, as I'm getting closer and closer to our next goal of 1,000 subscribers. At which point, I'll be able to start monetizing these videos, allowing me to start saving up towards a stream PC so I can stream live over on Twitch. In the meantime, though, you can support me monetarily over on my Patreon, where you get early access to my YouTube videos. That being said, though, folks, I will see y'all next time. Bye-bye!